drunk,
Drunk.
drunk, 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 drunk,
Hammered drunk.
drunk, 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 drunk.
Drunk trade of the week.
Drunk trade of the week comes from Twitter. It's a fresh one. This is from @FantasyBBQ. I'm assuming it stands for barbecue. However, if anybody knows of a different abbreviation that BBQ could possibly stand for, please let me know. I'm just curious about these things. But the trade itself, the worst drunk trade of all time, is how they preface this. So strap yourself in.
This better. I haven't looked at this, so this better hold up to the hype here.
Well, you let me know if it retains this moniker after all is said and done. But at first blush, I don't know. I'm skeptical. But here it is, without any more preface. This is a one quarterback league, no tight end premium, dynasty format. Okay. After the rookie draft this season, I traded Josh Allen, Evan Ingram, Brandon Ayuk, and Michael Pittman for JuJu Smith-Schuster and what ended up being the 204. So remember, this is after last rookie draft. All of this said and done. Dustin, what are your impressions?
This is not good. This is not a good trade here.
I didn't know if that was your vinegar strokes or if you were cringing because of how bad the trade was.
Oh, no, it was cringing. Okay. Even in a one QB league, this is not good at all. Josh Allen, granted, we didn't expect him to take as big a step as he did this offseason, or previous offseason, I should say. He is in conversation for easily top 5 quarterbacks every season here on out, as long as things don't change there in Buffalo too much personnel-wise. Brandon Ayuk flashed lots of good talent there in San Francisco. Pittman didn't really flash a ton, but has a ton of upside. He is struggling with injuries. JuJu ended up not doing anything we had hoped for this season. I'm personally not out on JuJu, but considering the timing of this trade and what you were expecting from JuJu, it's just bad all around. Evan Ingram I didn't even cover because he's a nothing piece for me. Sure. I'm so out on that guy. But all things being said, yeah, this was I don't know if this is the worst drunk trade of all time there, Fantasy Barbecue. It's really bad, though. It's one of the worst ones we've had in quite some time.
It is. This definitely sets the bar from, I would say, the last 6 months worth.
Oh, absolutely.
Drunk trades. But let's hop in the DeLorean, Dustin, since it is episode 88. Let's go back to the future or just the past. Again, that title's so confusing, man. I still think they should retroactively change it, which they could do because it's like built into the whole premise, right?
No.
They could do that. Sure they could. You could just call it Back to the Past.
No, he gets stuck in the past and then he has to go back to the future. Hence the title.
I don't know. It's confusing for me. Anyways. But let's look at this from this time last year. All right. And I don't think we would be nearly as harsh on this trade. I think at the time it looked reasonable because, again, it's one quarterback league. And I personally was not super high on Brandon Ayuk. I think he had a second round rookie ADP. Mm-hmm. Pittman, I think, was maybe similar, later second.
Yeah, they're both second round picks for the most part.
So while I think people both expected some good things out of him, I don't think anybody that I know expected Ayuk to do what he did so far. Right. And again, Josh Allen. Yeah.
I think there was more hype around Pittman than Ayuk heading into the season.
I think you're right because of that landing spot and his perceived takeover from T.Y. Hilton there. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, it looks bad-ish even then because I still think people were skeptical about JuJu back then as well. So I don't think it even looks amazing back then. It just certainly doesn't look nearly as bad as it does now.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, you got Ayuk and Pittman, 2 second-round picks. Okay. Evan Ingram, is probably in a non-tight end premium, a late second round pick. Josh Allen was definitely a first. I don't think maybe a first plus. Even in a 1 QB league, I think it'd be a first plus. So you're looking at a first and 3 seconds essentially for JuJu and 1 second.
Yeah, so probably a first and a second. Maybe you could stretch it to say that. Maybe. Yeah, like I said, it's not wonderful. But now let's just do a quick one for my sake. I'm curious here about a straight up here. Would you rather have JuJu or Michael Pittman at this point? I'm dead serious.
I would probably still take JuJu. He's still young. He's probably younger than Michael Pittman yet at this stage. Let's be honest, because JuJu came into the league so young. He was so young when he came into the league. So he's still super young. He's probably 23, maybe 24 at the oldest right now. And I know he hasn't done much since Antonio Brown left. I think part of that is due to Big Ben and that offense. They're just not the same. And they basically used him as a running back this last season. He had a very low ADOT and was basically an extension of the running game. The whole offense was basically short passes. So I think he can still produce at a very high level. Maybe he isn't a true number one on a team. Maybe he needs more of that alpha there to take away that coverage. But I still think JuJu can be great, and he's proved it already. And Michael Pittman just hasn't shown anything yet. While there's a lot of promise there, and I love the upside, give me JuJu all day long.
That's totally fair. I'm just curious because I will be interested to see what happens once the Colts get a legitimate quarterback there, depending on, of course, who it ends up being. You've seen plenty of rumors so far of who it could be. But I have to feel like most quarterbacks would be an upgrade for Pittman over the ghost arm of Phillip Rivers that they had there last year.
No doubt there.
By the by, JuJu is 24 and Michael Pittman is 23. So he is finally somebody's younger than JuJu.